Trump's coronavirus herd immunity plan will kill 6 million Americans. Wait, is that true? To America Uncovered, I'm Chris Chappell. A recent report from MSNBC says math on Trump COVID strategy has millions dying before it works. Sounds like it's time once again for our segment, Wait, is that true? So why is Trump willing to kill millions of Americans? President Trump was recently on ABC's Town Hall. Here's the clip and the reaction from MSNBC.
It is going to disappear. It's going to disappear. I still say it would go away without the vaccine, George, but it's going to go away a lot faster with it.
It would go away without the vaccine?
Sure, over a period of time. Sure, with time it goes
and many
away.
deaths.
And you'll develop herd, like a herd mentality. It's going to be herd developed, and that's going to happen. That will all happen.
Herd mentality and herd developed.
Good God, indeed. He meant herd immunity, but misspoke and said herd mentality. And here I thought Trump had the best words. I mean, is this what we want in a president? Someone who can't even speak clearly when talking about a pandemic that is killing Americans.
COVID has taken this year, just since the outbreak, has taken more than 100 years. Look, here's the lives. When you think about it.
Okay, please, nobody talk to Joe until after he wins the election. I'm looking at you, other Joe. Okay, so President Trump wants a herd immunity strategy to fight the coronavirus. Ha! Fooled you. He totally doesn't. To be fair, that was from early September. This is now late September. Things change. People change. It's pumpkin spice season now. Everything is different and worse. Now, since the coronavirus came from China and is killing people all over the world because the Chinese Communist Party tried to cover it up, I sometimes call it the CCP virus. So, what is herd immunity, which the president may or may not be advocating for? Herd immunity occurs when a high percentage of the community is immune to a disease, making the spread of this disease from person to person unlikely. Even individuals not vaccinated are offered some protection because the disease has little opportunity to spread within the community. Okay, so if enough of us get the CCP virus and survive, then we'll all have herd immunity and that's the end of the coronavirus. Doesn't sound so bad? Well, MSNBC's Rachel Maddow has some harsh math for you.
This is the plan, right? So the herd mentality, the herd immunity, well, do the math. We're 330 million people in this country. Under this plan, they'd need 65% of 330 million people to be infected. They'd need 215 million Americans to be infected. That's what they would aim for herd immunity. Well, right now, we've got roughly 6.6 million people infected in this country and roughly 200,000 Americans dead, which means our fatality rate cumulatively in this country is just under 3%. It's 2.97% of all people who've been diagnosed with COVID-19 in this country have died with it. If that fatality rate stays the same and we go for herd mentality, I mean herd immunity, if 2.97% of all the Americans who get infected die from this thing, which is what we've had so far, then what he's aiming for is 215 million Americans dead, 215 million Americans infected, 2.97% of them dead. That is 6,385,500 Americans dead. That would be what he's aiming for here, 6.4 million American deaths. If that holds for this next stage of the Trump plan, that would mean that the Trump White House is planning to kill off more than 6.3 million of us.
Oh, wow. The Trump White House is planning to kill off 6 million Americans? Why are we not panicking about this right now? Well, before you start running down the street screaming, it turns out that Rachel Maddow really needs to check her math and the science. And I'll tell you why after this short break. Welcome back. So MSNBC is pushing the message that Trump plans to kill off more than 6 million Americans.
The Trump White House is planning to kill off more than 6.3 million of us.
Well, first it's a microscopic virus that's doing the killing, not the Trump White House. But more important, MSNBC's calculation is just plain wrong. That's because they're using what's called the case fatality rate instead of the infection fatality rate. What did I just say? Well, the case fatality rate is the total number of confirmed deaths divided by the total number of confirmed infections. That's what MSNBC used to get their 2.97% mortality rate. However, the problem with the case fatality rate is that it's the wrong number to use. It underestimates the actual total number of infections. That's because people with the coronavirus don't always show symptoms, and most people aren't getting tested. The infection fatality rate tries to be more accurate. It adds in an estimate for the number of undiagnosed infections. The CDC currently estimates the real mortality rate for the coronavirus is only 0.65%. So if we use that in the MSNBC equation, we get a very different answer, about 1.4 million dead. That's still a lot. But it also assumes MSNBC is right when they say herd immunity requires 65% of the population to be infected. Obviously, we can't know for sure what will be required for herd immunity from the CCP virus because researchers use a bunch of different statistical models. One group of researchers estimated that the threshold for COVID-19 could be as low as 10 to 20%, though many epidemiologists say that is unlikely. Other modelers have estimated it at around 40 to 50%. This article from one of the world's top medical journals that examines several studies in different countries suggests that many people may have pre-existing immunity to the coronavirus, even if they haven't been exposed to it. If that's true, that would mean we would reach herd immunity much sooner than most modelers predict. And that's an important thing to keep in mind. People are constantly told to listen to the science about the coronavirus. But the science is not an omniscient God that can clearly tell us exactly what to do about the CCP virus. The science, in terms of our understanding of the coronavirus, is still changing. For example, remember when we were all told we shouldn't wear masks to prevent coronavirus? Or how we were all worried about disinfecting our groceries, but then we were told, wait, actually what we should worry about is ventilation. Like I said, the science on the coronavirus is still changing. And that's what's happening with scientists' understanding about the coronavirus and herd immunity too. It's important to remember, though, that even with herd immunity, the CCP virus is still out there and will still infect and kill people. But when Rachel Maddow says Trump wants to kill 6 million Americans, she is trying to terrify you. I know, it's shocking that the media would purposely try to scare you. But this has been a major problem throughout the entire CCP virus pandemic. Fear and emotion instead of the science. Like how experts are now saying the lockdowns were overly blunt and costly. So, what does the science really say? Let's find out. Greetings, O great and powerful the science.
Why have you summoned me, human?
Please, we are dying. I must asketh of you, your infinite wisdom, a question.
What offering have you?
I humbly present to you this mat.
We grant you permission for one question.
What ritual in your honor shall we perform to save us from the wrath of the coronavirus?
To protect yourself from SARS-CoV-2,
Yes?
you must
Yes?
wear tiny party hats.
Party hats?
The science has spoken.
What are you doing, people? Put on your party hats. Do you want to kill millions of Americans? Thank you for watching this episode of America Uncovered. Support the show over on patreon.com/AmericaUncovered. And may the science bless you.